June 22nd, 2010. It's the beginning of a heat wave here in Paoli, Pennsylvania. It's going to be 92 later today, 95 tomorrow, 96 on Thursday. It's a Tuesday, and for the last time, after 30 years, I'm walking through the front door at 26 East Central Avenue. My parents are in closing right now, in settlement, and so we're going to take a little quick tour around the house, say goodbye to it for one last time. It's sad. I'm real sad. In the living room, fireplace we did not use a whole lot. Wood on occasion. Place looks really big when it's empty like this. For most of the time we lived here, that's where the Christmas tree would go, by that radiator in the living room. The sun porch, my dad's office, cleaner than it has been in 30 years, except for maybe when we redid it a few years back. Always a cool room though. Be interesting to see, if we're allowed to see, what the new owners of the place do. Double doors into the family room. Probably the room, other than the kitchen, where we spent the most amount of time. The wood stove. Get that sucker cooking in the wintertime. Use it to heat the whole house. At least this part of the house. The bookshelves where there were lots of photos displayed over the years. The couch that went there. Took a lot of naps. Powder room. The closet. I know, very exciting. Place does look good though when it's all cleaned up. Back through the living room. Used to be a door here years and years ago where this window is now. And then when my parents expanded the deck, they closed off this door and put in a window. And then back in the family room, made this a door. Into the kitchen, renovated in the late 80s, 89. Took forever. It was a giant pain in the ass, but a great addition to the house. All of this was added. There was a step down here, but they made it much bigger, much nicer flow into the room and bigger space. A lot of time, obviously, spent in the kitchen over the years. Great meals by my mom. Occasional eggs by my dad. The patio, deck, the big deck, and of course, the tiny deck. Real nice kitchen though. Really nice room. Nice house. In the dining room. Didn't spend a ton of time in here. There's the dining room stick out, named by me. But we'd have holiday dinners in here. Let's head upstairs. My dad's desk used to be there before he moved it into the sun porch. And this was my room for most of growing up. I remember putting in this ceiling fan with my Uncle Dougie. And for most of the time when I was a kid, this is where my room was. With the beautiful brass bed that my parents had. A really nice room. Looks out on East Central. And across the street, the old Paoli Elementary School. Where I went for 1 year, kindergarten only. But we sledded on that hill a lot, played in the fields up above. A really good location for us house. All went to Hillside Elementary, all went to Valley Forge Middle School, and all 3 boys went to Conestoga High School. This is in theory the master bedroom, although my parents weren't in here a whole lot because they moved to the back bedroom because of the proximity to East Central. It's a great neighborhood, but it's kind of a loud road. So my mom wanted to get away from the noise. A nice big closet, nice room. For most of the time when we were kids, this was Adam's room. One of these corners, I swear. This corner or this corner? Or this corner, I don't remember where his drums were. Oh, and you could pretty easily climb out onto this roof, which made my mom thrilled. The house was built in the 20s, I believe. The bathroom that we use the most for showering and whatever else, obviously. This was the bathroom that was covered in tin foil and black when we moved in. When we moved in 1980, there hadn't been anyone living in the house for, I think, a year and a half. And they had just left it in a pretty deplorable condition. So my parents made a lot of upgrades over the years. This was Josh's room when he was a kid. That same roof is right out here. And then when Melissa and I had a baby, this was the baby's room for our son, Ben, and for Matthew, Josh, and Rachel's baby. It was a nice room. Up on this wall, maybe even still there behind this coat of paint, but maybe not. There was a apple tree painted on the wall by the previous owners. This was always a kid's room. And this was my parents' bedroom. The back bedroom, which faces out towards Pennington Road. The side yard where we'd play a lot. That was always the Myers house. I have no idea who lives there now. That was the Verdianis. I don't know who lives there now. In the backyard. The house over there, that was the Luckenbills. I don't know who lives there now. In our garage, in our backyard. My mom's closet, also neater than it has ever been. That's the upstairs and the down. I think we'll go outside, check out a couple of other things, and then say goodbye for one last time. Before we head outside, we got to check out the basement, and of course the wall where we did all the measurements. So here's NLM 588. Wow. $4 feet mark there. 781. Hadn't reached 4 feet yet. Here's Adam in 1981. What does that say? I can't read it. So yeah, Adam in 81. Josh looked like he wrote his own name there. Josh liked writing his own name, always. 485 Adam. 86. JM 591. Chances are Josh measured himself for these. He was always doing everything by himself. 1290. 591. 993. Look at that. 588. I made it to 5 feet. There's 1290 and 398. Josh. The basement's been redone a couple of times. When I moved back home, I lived down here for a little while. I'm pretty sure all 3 boys lived down here. At one point or another, it was real quiet, except when people were banging around upstairs. But it was a nice room, completely redone. When we moved in, there was a pool table that had been brought in through the Bilko doors over here, and then they put a deck over the Bilko doors so they couldn't take the pool table out. So we just gladly accepted the pool table. And it was here for a long time, and it was right here in this part of the room. But eventually we redid it and finished the basement, and you know, just sort of turned into a rec room for the family. It's like I said, a little bit cooler down here, and it was always a nice addition. Get some more square footage out of the house. There's sort of a storage room back here. Flip on the light. The only reason I come in here is because of this hole. We had a cat forever named Emma. Emma was a feeble, tired old thing, but occasionally she'd go up into this hole. This goes underneath the family room and that part of the house, and we'd just hide in there for long periods of time. We tried doing projects in this room. There was always a freezer right here. And we'd come down, and this was some sort of an semblance of a tool cabinet, tool chest, and tool table. And we would make our pine wood derby cars in here. That was about it. Never that successfully. Patio that was expanded in the 80s at some point. Power washed and redone many times over the years. New boards. And the greatest addition, bar none, ever to the house, and a regret that I didn't do in the last week, the outdoor shower. Highly recommend the outdoor shower, people. It'll change your life for the better. Beautiful backyard, really peaceful back here, separated from East Central Avenue. Looking back in the kitchen, that's where that door was that I was talking about before in the living room. And steps down to the yard. Beautiful old Japanese maple we got from Ruth McIlwain in probably 1990, 91, something like that. Looking back over towards the Verdiani's house and Bagby's. Again, all of these people haven't lived there in years, but those are the houses that I'll always call them. The driveway that goes down to Pennington, and then also up to East Central. Always great having a driveway with an in and an out. Just gonna get a couple quick outside shots. There's the front, the side, chimney that was attached to the wood stove, side yard, collective man hours spent mowing the side yard over the years. Mowing and cleaning up dog crap. And beautiful hydrangeas. Used to be a willow tree at that end of the side yard, and when we had Tugger, we had a zip line sort of attached to the one part of the willow tree, and then would run all the way up to a tree up there that I think is no longer there, a big maple that fell down years back, and Tugger could run up and down, and would run up and down, back and forth, days on end. Just a really beautiful home. Great house, great yard, great neighborhood. Lots of kids lived in the neighborhoods over the years, so I always had people to play with, and football games going on across the street, and baseball, and great for Halloween, trick-or-treating, and whatever else. And looking back on the outside shower and the back porch, the big deck. And the maple tree, Japanese maple. Beautiful blue spruce. We planted that pine tree. An apple. Used to park White Lightning, the '88 Buick Skylark, inherited from Ruth. Eventually got her teeth punched in, not Ruth, the car. There's the tiny deck in the back of the kitchen. You can see obviously here how it's an addition to the house, not an original part of the house, but just a great addition. And the tiny deck and the kitchen door and the driveway looking back up towards East Central Avenue. That's it. That's the tour of 26 East Central Avenue. Completely cleaned out, nothing in the home, nothing in the house, and you know, it's just 30 years gone by. I mean, you think about it, so much has happened here, and it really wasn't just a house. It was cliche, but it was definitely a home for Tom and Betsy and Adam and Josh and Nick, and for my wife Melissa when we first started dating, and Rachel and Matthew and Benjamin, and everyone in the extended family and high school friends, for all of us, and college and high school friends, for my parents, just the number of people who came through here that we loved over the years, grandparents, people long gone. It's real sad. But, you know, we move on. So that's it. I'm going to pull the door shut and lock it up one last time. New people are moving in real soon. But we love this house. We love this home, and we love being a part of this neighborhood for a long, long time. And we'll miss it.
Tom and Betsy McIlwain, Nick's parents of the morning show from Preston and Steve. They are the nicest people, and Tom retired a couple years ago, and they sold their longtime house out near Paoli, and they're driving to Colorado, and they've got a place out there. Betsy's going to come back and teach one more year in Wayne and rent an apartment and commute back and forth, but the McIlwains are moving west, young man and woman, so we wish them all the best. They couldn't be nicer people.